from Hollywood and the four corners of the world. You asked for it. Starring Rich Little. Here's the star of You Asked For It, Rich Little.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome to the only show on television that takes you around the world in 30 minutes just because you asked for it. Tonight from Ecuador, the touching story of the Shoeshine boys of Quito, plus a man who can sound like anything, and a 68-year-old grandmother who is a high diver, and much, much more. But first on our show, the exciting roundup of full-grown fighting bulls. In the Rhone Delta region of France, called the Camargue, our Tony Thomas rode the range with the cowboys of the Camargue. Because Sidney Allison of Scarborough, Ontario, Canada, you asked for it.
Rich, these cowboys work in the Camargue section of southern France, not far from Marseille. The setting reminds you of almost any Western movie you've ever seen. Beautiful horses, skilled riders, and the familiar cowhand chore of rounding up the herd. But these French bulls are not heading for the Chisholm Trail. They're on their way to the town of Les Saintes-Maries-de-Mer to become the featured players in a dramatic festival. They are fighting bulls, bred for the bull ring and destined for the matador's sword in the town arena. The cowboys have their work cut out for them, but the toughest part will come when they finally get those bulls to town. Waiting for the arrival of the bulls and their escorts are the people of the town, and they will do their darndest to save those bulls from their fate. This tradition began years ago when the people protested against the powerful ranch owners by attacking their cowhands and freeing the prized bulls. Today, the people can no longer injure the riders, but there are no other rules. There's plenty of danger and action in those streets. Fireworks are exploded to add to the excitement and to try to scare the horses. Riders have to fight off constant attacks in this no-holds-barred struggle, and the townspeople have been seriously injured in the past. As they approach the arena, the townspeople make a final effort to save the bulls. They even try to lasso them with clothesline ropes. But the cowboys will win the day. They have the situation well in hand now, and before them is the blood-red gate that leads to the bull ring. The tradition of the bullfight triumphs, and those bulls have been saved only to fight another day. And that's no bull, because you asked for it.
Howdy, I'm Gary Cooper. I won't say I was a wealthy cowpuncher, but I used to brand my steers with an unlisted number. Shut.
I'll be back in a moment with a man who sounds like, well, anything you've ever heard. Stay with us.
And now back to Rich Little.
You all remember the wonderful underwater gurgling sounds in Walt Disney's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with James Mason.
But what most of you don't know is that one man made all those sounds with no mechanical aids. Wes Harrison is known as Mr. Sound Effects. And for more than 25 years, he's been mimicking natural sounds in cartoons, films, and television. John Ahola of Sheboygan, Wisconsin, wants to see how it's done. So we paid a visit to York, Pennsylvania. Wes, what are you going to show us?
This is one of the things I love to do with new cars. It's running. It's running. Well, I guess we're all ready to go, Rich.
While Wes heads for York's Interstate Fair, we'll try him out on some different sound effects. Give us an old-time steam locomotive.
Gotta stop for steam. More steam. It's a long train. Now, here's the best part. And there she goes.
Great, but listen, I think you've been driving a little too fast. The law's after you.
Cops, cops, cops.
You're pretty good, Wes. But I'd like to see you do some different things. Maybe eating. Now, that's pretty tough.
This looks like a good place. Let's give it a try. Oh, that's really piggish. But it's good.
My gosh, what a strange way to make a living, imitating things. And you saw it, John Ahola, because you asked for it. You know, a lot of the segments we show have made a big splash, but none quite as big as this story that appeared in the original show in 1959. And here to tell us about it is the host of the original You Asked For It, Mr. Jack Smith.
Thank you, Rich. You're about to meet a remarkable woman, Ella Carver, who was 67 years old when we found her doing her act in Miami, Florida, for a startled crowd of kids at the Children's Variety Hospital. Now, there are a lot of performers who were active well past the age of 67, but Grandma Carver was exceptional because her act was exceptional. At an age when most people are contemplating retirement, Grandma Carver made her living by climbing to the top of a 90-foot tower, then was set afire and dove into a 5-foot pool of water. Watch.
Ella Carver, internationally known as the only high swan diver in the world, fire into fire, and certainly the oldest. She still drives her own stakes, swings a 10-pound sledgehammer with the muscles of a coal miner. Nothing to it, she says. Women of today are entirely too soft for her liking. All set to perform the same act she's done since she was 16 years old for her favorite audience. At 70 years of age, she still cuts quite a figure. 5 foot 4 inches tall, 114 pounds, and up the 90-foot ladder. One of her fondest memories is performing this act before President Teddy Roosevelt. Our camera at the top to film her dive into a 5-foot tank of water. eyes on Grandma Carver. They'll remember this all their lives. At nighttime, her most spectacular performance into a tank covered with flaming oil. Setting fire to her leotard, she becomes a flaming torch. Fire into fire. Watch the fiery dive again in slow motion. Oldest flame diver, Grandma Ella Carver. You asked for it.
That was great, Jack, but what does she do for an encore?
How could you do an encore after that?
Couldn't. Boy, that is sensational. Coming up on You Asked For It, a car wash where the employees are performing birds. We'll be back.
And now back to Rich Little.
Thank you, John. The big attraction at a car wash in Fremont, California is not just getting your car washed, it's the employees, most of whom are birds. Our Desiree Goyette tells us about these fine feathered functionaries because Mrs. Lena H. White of Cincinnati, Ohio, you asked for it.
How you doing today? Hello. Would you like a car wash and hot wax?
No, just a wash.
Just a wash? Okay, it'd be $4, please. Thief, can you go get the money for me? That's my girl. Okay.
New customers to Joe Carvalho's Bird Bath Car Wash in Fremont, California don't quite know what to make of Joe's cashier.
Okay. Here's his change.
But Joe has one of the world's foremost collections of exotic birds, and he puts them to work at his car wash. The idea is to give the customer a show while they wait for their car to be washed.
You better answer that phone, Sheik. Hurry up. Hello, goodbye. Boy, that was a short conversation you had there, Sheik.
The customers love the birds, even when they complain about Joe's increasing costs.
$4 for a car wash. Is that a little bit high?
The Bird Bath Car Wash is a result of Joe's childhood love of birds.
Hey, Tina. Go ride your bike. Atta, girl.
Tina is Joe's most exotic bird. Largest of the parrot family, she's a hyacinth macaw, hand-trained from birth, and now worth over $10,000. In addition to performing, these exotic birds will do some mundane chores.
Hi, what can I do for you?
Hi, do you have a mailbox here?
We sure do. We have a little bird right there. She's our airmail service. That girl.
Strangely, the most difficult thing to teach a bird is to fly without flying away.
When you hand feed them from a baby, boy, you really get attached to these guys. Sometimes I have to get up at 4 in the morning to get their feedings. And boy, when you're getting ready to let them out, it's quite scary.
Some of these birds may live to be 100 years old, and they develop some very strong attachments.
Having 30 or 40 wives that are extremely jealous. Thank you, Sheik.
But Joe does admit to having a favorite, Sheik.
Now, you know, Sheik's a real impersonator. He likes to imitate different animals. His favorite one, don't do a trick, please, is a big American eagle doing a pose. That boy. That's
While Joe was looking at a nearby bird in a pet store, Sheik reached out and grabbed Joe's collar. "Come here, give me a kiss," was Sheik's opening line.
Now, Sheik's going to show you what a big eagle would look like after going out drinking all night. You ready, Sheik? Big eagle, drunk. Got a real hangover there. Okay, Sheik, can you just talk like a parrot? No, that's a dog. Talk like a parrot. Polly, want a cracker? You want a what? You want a cracker? Okay, throw everybody out there a great big kiss. Try to do that without lips, huh?
That's Joe Carvalho and some of the most talented birds in the country. All because you asked for it.
You know, those birds don't say, Polly wants a cracker. No, they say, Polly wants a percentage of the business. You know, if you enjoyed the French Cowboys, Wes Harrison's sound effects, or those funny birds at the car wash, I'll bet there's something else you'd like to see. Let us know what it is, and we'll show it to you. Write to us at You Asked For It, P.O. Box 1980, Hollywood, California, 90028. An American priest, Father Halligan, sets a shining example for the kids of the city of Quito in Ecuador, especially the Shoeshine boys, most of whom were homeless orphans involved in crime. Because Joe Roma of Whitehall, Pennsylvania, You Asked For It, our Georgetta Ruba visited this caring man and his flock of children.
Meet Darwin Arevalo, one of the Shoeshine boys of Quito. He is one of the thousands of children who roam its wide avenues clawing for survival. They begin this struggle at the age of 4, and from that time, every day is the same. Endless walking through the urban sprawl of Quito, searching for the next customer whose coin will give them the strength to walk some more. Life never used to offer more until Father John Halligan came to town.
This is the carpentry shop at the Working Boys Center, the original school that Father Halligan started for the Shoeshine boys of Quito when he came here in 1962.
Before the school, there was nothing for Shoeshine boys and working boys in the streets. But right now in Quito and other cities throughout Latin America, you can get at these kids with what they need, an education and the helps that every kid needs to become a man.
The concept of Father Halligan's Center has grown since he first started it. Now it involves the whole family. The older men working here are fathers of the Shoeshine boys. The younger men are graduates of the program and have left the street after being trained for more productive work.
The little boy who starts working at the age of 6 naturally has a pretty sad life. He's out there because he has to be. His mother and his brothers and sisters, and very often there's no father, need the money to survive. But on the other hand, it's not all sadness, because the kid himself knows that he's gaining strength of character. He's out there cutting it at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, where other kids will never know what it's like to grow up so fast.
School begins at noon in the center, after a morning of work on the streets for the boys. This class shows how successful Father Halligan's program can be. One Shoeshine boy here has been involved with the center for 14 years. His name is Jorge Borja, and he's the teacher.
We don't waste time teaching them a lot of unnecessary things. It's reading, writing, arithmetic, and enough geography to know where they are in life physically, and enough morality to know where they are spiritually. And the kids respond because they are kids who have had nothing, and they appreciate even school.
But making money on the street and learning from books is useless unless some practical habits are included too. That's why you'll see the kids at the center lined up every day, ready to put money into the bank.
Bank is one of the most vital things in the whole program. We make them save for the future because these people who are poor think there's no future. And there is no future without any self-determination. There's no self-determination without a buck, as we all know, and that's just the simple name of the game.
There are just a few rules at the Working Boys Center. Each day, everyone must save money, go to class, take a bath, eat nutritiously as they can right here in the cafeteria, and most importantly, they must work.
The poor people of this world are never going to make it unless they work harder than anybody has ever worked before in history. What has to be given to them, though, is compensation. They've got to have recreation. They've got to have laughs. They've got to have their kicks, and they've got to have their privacy.
Mix work with learning and plan for the future. That's what Father Halligan is teaching the Shoeshine boys of Quito. And with his help, they'll have a shining future indeed. This is Georgetta Ruba in Ecuador, and we've had the privilege of bringing you this story because Joe Roma of Whitehall, Pennsylvania, you asked for it.
Thank you, Georgette, and thank you, Father Halligan, for making the world a little bit better place to live by caring for its children.
And now back to Rich Little.
That's our show for tonight. We'll see you next time on... Good night, everybody.